Hello everybody, and welcome back. We're jumping on into map number 2 or TRZ, taking on EOX, and it is going to be the pistol round already underway. We've seen a little bit of damage come in as EOX make it towards the B-bomb site, but things aren't looking all too Gucci. Not able to deal with Zam there, putting them into a position that's definitely not looking all too good. Bomb planted, but a 3 versus 1 in the end as a bomb gets completely shrouded by the smoke. Crymore just spams up and eventually finds the kill on the BNC. Crymore, of course, being Hey You. But we'll go with Crymore, as that's what he's called in the game. Just so much easier to say as well. So we're jumping back on into the action, just a little bit late. Again, some technical issues connecting to the server, but we're back on. We're good. We're Gucci. As we look towards things, obviously we've had a fantastic first map from TRZ, shutting down EOX on their map pick. Then when it came over to TRZ's map pick, EOX had a similar performance. Just there on Mirage, we saw a little bit of an underwhelming aside from EOX. But all in all, I have to say I was pretty impressed by the just general appearance of EOX, the fact that they were able to pull themselves back into it despite having such a bad first map. This is decent damage from them. Coming into round number 2. It's a 2 versus 3. Oh no, jumping up on top. BNC was hurt. There wasn't a whole lot he could do. So, right. 2-0. TRZ win the pistol and they win the second round. This means that they probably get a third on the board, as EOX should go for an eco at this point. But we still expect quite a lot. I mean from both teams though. With this being a middle ground, it's where you expect to see the closest game, and certainly, I certainly hope that's what we see, because so far there hasn't really been a close affair. It's been one-sided to each team this whole way along. As we jump into the round, EOX obviously have a couple pieces of armor to work with, but it makes it very easy for these SMG, or for the SMG of Crymore, when he comes up against a non-armored opponent. FAMAS and OGs are going to find easy headshots, as just one bullet is needed to connect, and their opponents will be deaded. Flash goes through, BNC spamming the deagle, capitalizes on one kill, is going to swing out to try and find more as Fabio goes down. Shots coming in from behind as Zam pushes from in front. Retrieving the AUG, but dealing decent damage in the meantime. Recovering a deagle as well, why ever not. TRZ's economy is severely affected by that round though, as EOX come in with a full buy. In order to match the purchases of their opponents, they have to invest all the way down, digging deep into their pockets and leaving 3 players unable to buy should they lose this round. So EOX have certainly made a couple of decent opportunities for themselves. Wow, the Molotov deals so much damage to Skulls on the op. He even drops it over to Moth, who we've already seen be a very scary player in a lot of these games. There's the Kobe from Fabio as Skulls goes down after previously being lit up by a Molotov. I don't think he was hit by a single bullet this round. It was all based on utility damage. Need to avoid those nades. Up on top of the ladder, this gives Sam all the opportunity. He's heard Moth up above. Takes him down, but a 1-for-1 trade is found, so the T side at least maintains some semblance of control over the round, with Sagala falling. It's quickly pulled back as Crymore and Fabio both find frags to leave TRK all alone 1v3. Now with an op in hand and the bomb dropped in the open, he's left into such an awkward spot. The attempt to pull this back will certainly be benign, you'd imagine. Oh, missing the shot. Should definitely seal his fate. Pushed down from beside him. He's eliminated and the round comes to a conclusion. It's 4-0. TRZ are looking strong at the moment as they face off against a pretty weak buy from EOX. But it may only be a matter of time before the T's start to clock up some decent rounds. Fabio's already lit to 2 HP, and crossing back to the bomb site, he safely evades the deagle bullets shot at him at random. But next time he sees a terrorist, he most likely dies. The deagle shot's not connecting, unfortunately, to start us out. That side of Fabio. Oh, down goes Sigala. Fabio's there as well. He could be very quickly dispatched. It's all on Skulls and push down up close. Sony's the one to find that frag. The Skulls wasn't quite ready for that kind of push. It's 5-0. TRZ pulled themselves out on AWP on Sigala. AUGs everywhere else. Let's see if Fabio gets one. Yeah, indeed he does. Thrown right into his hands. Oh, Sony's down to 36 in the Molotov. He was getting aggressive towards upper, but suffered quite heavily for it. EOX getting a little bit of ground covered in Ivy, spamming through the smokes. Doesn't see all too much of a relief for them as TRK spots out the feet. That smoke was a little bit too high. BNC just got blocked trying to throw his smoke, unfortunately, so he's instead throwing a smoke, which works very well for the CT side in blocking out Ivy and stopping any pushes. Sigala picks up one to at least return the death of his fallen comrades. Zam starting to rotate in. Needs to be cautious of the push. He does indeed catch Moth out and at least open up this A defense for the CTs, giving them a bit more of a chance as they face into future fights. Crymore is low HP. Sigala's dropped as well. This could be very dangerous. Oh, but Will's caught off guard. Cry jumps up on top, and that was a brave move for a player on 6 HP. But probably the place he stood the best chance of actually winning that fight. The only problem was no one was there to trade him, which is where it really got a little bit shaky for me. So it's 6-0, and as Triz finds him, as Team TRZ, what am I talking about? Triz. I feel like it is Triz. I'm just saying TRZ like a moron. Triz and EOX. I don't know. Who am I to decide? We see 1-for-1 kills going down. EOX now with Moth on 26 HP. Molotov down towards the back of Yellow in a smoke. Doesn't actually land an upper, I don't think. Oh, it does. Okay. Doesn't rob them of all too much sight, though. It is eventually going to be a push towards the A bomb side, and this could be read by the fact that nobody else has made any noise towards B at this point. One spotted Megan to the right side, but he's not going to be landing anything as Zam gets taken down. Smoke on the cross for the CTs to get to the bomb site, but that doesn't work either. Long-range AWP, Sigala's not hitting the shots. And with that, the round should pretty much be over. Nice no-scope to be connected, though. Maybe a little bit of hope for them as Sony capitalizes on one towards Pop Dog. Now into a 2 versus 2. You have to be cautious, though. Will is holding towards Brown Train with an AK-47, ready to swing out and take Sony down. You've got a decent 2-man setup and a little bit of utility to be used up by the terrorists. And Sigala with only an op on this retake. He has to land another no-scope. He does it. Swinging up towards Skulls. He detects him to be close, but not able to catch him off guard as he's holding an off angle. An op saved over for the T side and a first round on the board. Nice peek by Moth. I don't know if he spotted a player up close, though. As Sony is thinking about getting aggressive. There he is. He could really catch them off guard. They probably won't suspect him to be here at this point, especially not with an op spotted out earlier on. Coming up behind, knows they're down and pop. Oh no! He shoots off way too early. Gives away his position and gets taken down with a quick flick coming through from Will to get the wallbang headshots on the spray down. Op retrieved by Will now. He's holding down in connector. Fabio's lucky to be alive at this point. 2-man advantage in play for the T side. Is quickly pulled back at least somewhat. These engagements could get awkward, specifically in Ivy, as Zam catches them off guard and bringing it back to a 3v3, pulling it back bit by bit. He's conscious of an op being posted on one of these angles. He pushes through the smoke. Crymore doesn't hear the reload behind him, and with that, the round's pretty much over. Fabio's left a 1 versus 3. Finds a kill onto TRK, but a big clutch needed still. As one is up close to the smoke, it's Skulls, and he's the one finding the final frag to bring it 6-2. And EOX starting to really get rounds on the board. Convincingly enough. Skulls has got the SG, and he's tapping away towards Fabio and Ivy. I mean, this round is not too much of a curiosity, really. You're only looking at Sagala with potential. As he opens it up and takes it into a 2-man advantage. Now you can maybe get a little bit worried for EOX, but they're still able to refocus towards a bomb site with with 2 players. Flank coming through, actually, as we speak. Zam's going to come up behind. This round's starting to look pretty good. Sony's got a Zeus, which can definitely do the damage up close. They're looking to push down ramp. This could be a pretty devastating round. They've detected a flank, though. They suspect it as he's taken down. There's going to be a push towards ramp, though. You can see it. You can see it in Will's eyes. He wants to go down there. But eventually they decide that instead they'd like to take the A site, where Sagala still posted up with the op, takes down Skulls. It was up close, peeking around. Holding down towards connector as Will. He's not able to find any kills. TRK gets the bomb planted though, jumping around the bomb site, capitalizes on 1. He's got to get 3 more and flanked out by the op. He turns in time, but not shooting. As the defuse comes through, an op to be saved over by the CTs. And a 7-2 scoreline. A good early start by TRZ, but you do have to say, with EOX starting to build up some economy, and indeed winning out some of those buy rounds, they definitely have the potential to still come back into this. 5 or 6 rounds going to be the goal at this point to achieve, and it's not beyond reason to expect that. Especially with the CT economy being as fragile as it is, if EOX find 1 round, they're guaranteed a second with an eco coming through from TRZ. More than likely, which should see a 7-4 scoreline, and then just 1 more buy round would be needed with that kind of economic management. The nade goes towards upper, and okay, it does nothing. It's too far down on the ramp. That could have done so much for them. Sony finds 1 opening kill, but it's going to be quickly returned. You can see there from BNC's position around the smoke. He's very easily able to eliminate Sony. Sagala, rather. Up on top, takes down BNC. as we're watching Skulls push through the connector smoke and catch Zam off guard. They know he's there now, so they do deal with him, but not in time because TRK is already in position and he's picked up 2. He's left it into a 1 versus 2 as well. And up against an op. Not the ideal weapon for this situation. Very close, but no cigar, as the shot is going to be missed. Seven to 3, EOX with another round, and now TRZ. I said they'd go for an eco, but evidently they want to go glass cannon op, glass cannon scout, an AUG, a CZ, and a P250 with some minor utility in between. This is a less than efficient buy. Oh my god. Fabio has just naded Moth, who had an op at the start of the round. They found a second kill in towards main, and although Pop Talk control is seized by EOX, they have only 1 player to guard that bomb. This has started out really, really well for TRZ. On such a weak investment, they still have 2 ops and a scout to play with alongside Sony. Sony is the sole defender of the B bomb site. Push is coming in. Sagala through the smoke picks up 1. He's looking for it on the cross, not finding it just yet. But Sony up close, catches 1 and a second off guard as well. Unable to get ready in time for combat, as it's 8 to 3. And once more, TRZ pulling ahead on the CT side. If they get 1 more, they're guaranteed a decent half. 10 would be ideal though. And with a force spike coming through from EOX, 10 is definitely possible at this point. All TRZ have to do is win this round and they're almost guaranteed it. EOX sitting down in upper B. It looks like they want to make the push happen there. It's not going to go too well as Sagala picks up the opening. Molotov towards lower. Stop. Doesn't land. It doesn't land at all. Luckily, EOX decide not to push down, maybe just hearing the Molotov and assuming that it would be thrown in the correct place. Deep nades a little bit early, but still deals a lot of damage to Will. There's a man advantage for the CT side. Oh, it's extended so much further. Pushing the smoke there is not the play. Not when you've allowed so long for your opponents to rotate. Nice shot by Moth. He's not able to do it. Spinning on the spot. Runs out of directions to be looking in his shot on the back. Putting it 9 to 3. And the scoreline at this point, with the economy starting to build up for the CT side, I would definitely say they're now favored. But it is up for debate. The double op setup sure to play an important role here, with Train just being such an important map for double op setups in general, or for ops and scopes. That's why you see so many scoped weapons being bought out by the CTs. Zam goes down early on though, trying to get aggressive. Nice shot connected by Fabio. Smoke towards I to allow him to continue on peeking, and he does exactly that. Peeking to his heart's content, as Crymore does the same. It's all onto Skulls. He's got barely anything to work with, no armor, and very quickly he's destroyed by Sony. Couldn't even move. Ten to 3. We're getting close to halftime, and EOX haven't shown us a whole lot. They need to step it up on the T side right here and now, because their money is starting to dwindle. And failing to connect this round will pretty much be a failure in the half in general. Because 4 rounds just isn't enough, and that would be their maximum. And even to say an unlikely maximum if they lose this one. So very spread out at the moment. EOX are aiming towards getting Ivy control, then support flashing and nading over, and getting themselves a bit of control towards the bomb site. It's a strategy that might not work out too well because Zam is there to shut them down. A quick double, looking for a third and finding it. And as the others come out, 4th on the board, Zam is a monster. A man of insane individual proportions. It's 11-3, and the potential for a 12th is on the board. I just want to quickly focus your attention towards this scoreboard, where we have seen Fabio and Sonny be the big players, but Zam has started to step it up alongside Zagala, 2 players that were obviously massively impactful in the last 2 maps. And such a well-knit, well-rounded performance. Now, the same can be said for EOX, but it's towards a much lower grade. Indeed, probably half the kills in general of what we're seeing coming through from the CTs right now. And Zam this time only able for 1. Sagala pulls it back with the op. Flash goes over, spotted out in the open. Sagala's taken down. Skulls is able to eliminate Fabio, and this could well be 11-4. It pretty much needs to be. Will's lit down low, eventually taken by the Molotov, but not on time. And so 11-4 is the scoreline. Let me know in chat, do you think that's enough? Exclamation mark EOX if you believe in EOX, and exclamation mark TRZ if you believe in TRZ. It's 11-4 and the pistol round is going live. TRZ lose a man to open things up as Sony goes down. Closing in the distance. That smoke does allow at least a little bit of cover. The smallest amount. Zam's inside a Molotov. He's being lit up, but hold on. Crymore's starting to get some damage done. He can upgrade to a USP if he wants as well. Sagala pushes Green Train. Quick one tap on the skulls, but it's returned by TRK. Now spotted towards Ivy. Great shot by Crymore, but he doesn't suspect another to be here. Still a man advantage to work with. Zam hiding down towards Pop Dog. Fabio, the top fragger of the game so far, now very heavily tied. It goes to triple burst with a Glock. It's a brave move, but really just baiting the time. I mean, so much time has gone by. Was he on the ladder when he shot? Well, Glock has pretty good movement accuracy, I suppose. It holds true on ladders. It's 12-4. The CT side are looking worse for wear by a whole 9 yards. They've taken a triple scout setup, and this is a buy that generally indicates massive amounts of disparity in the team. You very rarely see this coming through. With an MP9 and a Deagle as well. So in towards Ivy, you're seeing TRK pressured back with a scout, but a nice tag to come through from Skulls at least. They're going to try to connect a further one. Yeah, okay, Fabio goes down pretty low as well. This is great for the Pistols. They'll have a field day up against these weaker opponents, or at least they should. But as it's only going to be BNC left alive, There's two players that are a one-tap for him to the body with a Deeg. Oh, and he takes down Sony. Gains control over the bomb potentially. He doesn't peek out in time to get that, though. On 14 HP, it's a pretty even fight. Only thing is that Crymore's got more room to maneuver around. He might be spotted on the bomb here. Smoke goes down. Defuse tapped. Crymore has no info and spamming through the smoke. It actually almost catches BNC anyways, but the defuse is there after the kill, and so 12-5. EOX starting to come back now, a little bit late perhaps. I think it's fair to say very late. But we'll see. See if it's too late. TRZ and the boys take an eco. Needs to just be a save. The next round is more important. Problem here is that EOX and his men will be able to save up a little bit of cash. A passive of a hold this is from BNC as well. He's all the way back. Nice spams going down. TRZ shouldn't get a whole lot here. Bomb plant achievable. And achievement discovered. Nice nade down. Gives them the round pretty much for free, but still a pretty decent position for TRZ to be in. Getting that bomb plant bolsters their economy down for this one. It's 3:41 in the morning here, and we're starting to near the end of the game. At least it looks like it, as TRZ come in with a 1-for-1 trade to start it off. Crymore gets another on the board. Zam in with one, and it's a 3 versus 2. Moth is the last alive. AUG in hand, swinging out on stop sign, and it's just not happening. Crymore takes him down, and it's 13-6. EOX have gained enough money in the last couple of rounds that they are able to force up on Moth and AWP. The problem is, not everybody else is so easily able to buy. And so we will see a lot of weaknesses develop in the economy of the CT side. This is a super scope-centric map. So having to even go down to an M4 is not ideal. Especially not with the current meta, but even in general. Just the way the map functions favors the AUGs and the SGs a little bit more. The technical pause comes through yet again. EOX still playing on those super high pings. Hear the chat in the background, so perhaps we're nearly ready to go. Well, with the pause eventually coming undone, thankfully, we'll be able to get back into it, and perhaps that will slow down the momentum of TRZ at least a little bit. EOX come into this with 2 rifles, well, 3 rifles, I suppose, with the FAMAS, a sniper in the form of an AUG, not an AUG, an AWP. It's too late. It's 3:45 a.m. I may die soon. And an MP9 in the hands of Will. Some utility spread across the board. Majority just going to be smokes towards the end of this anyways. or towards the first 30 seconds. Nice nade down onto Will. It's returned even further as he's now 18 HP and a very easy connection to make. Will spotted coming out of pop. He was super low, so an easy kill to find. There's the second onto Skulls as the T side are completely dominating right now. TRK falls to leave Moth and BNC. Players that are located towards Ivy, well, they're not located anywhere. Taken down straight away as soon as I mention them. I feel like I'm in Death Note as it's 14-6. EOX now on an eco. Oh, they are actually force buying up. Moth is playing super aggressive right now. EOX seem to be at the end of their tether, and as BNC gets aggressive towards B, he's got to find himself some kills here because he's being rushed down. He lands one. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Bomb should safely cross to the bomb site, get a bomb planted. You've still got the flank being watched out here by Sunny. And all in all, just a position that should be beyond recovery for the CT side. Will's very nervous to go up for this flank, and he's got to make a move eventually if they want to take this site. Tapping the bomb, smoke goes down. This is going to bait a lot of players out in the open. That's exactly what Moth is counting on, and he finds the final kill as well. The man is actually a monster. It's not even a joke. 15 for 16 right now. He's having a slow start, but he's starting to really get back onto it. Back on his high horse. 3 AKs, an M4, and an AUG. Shots ringing out from Skulls as things are looking pretty good. TRZ aren't getting anything done. And all you can say to that is Keral. Excuse me. It's 14-8 TRZ. I mean, a big change in their approach to the round there. They just wanted to go in fast and blitz towards the A bomb site. Doesn't work out for them at all as they get torn apart. Now EOX have got an opportunity to at least build their economy up a little bit more. The comeback isn't so far out of reach. I mean, they're 6 rounds away right now. 7 from at least guaranteeing themselves an overtime. That's not too much to ask for from a CT side. But to not give away 2 rounds in the process is pretty difficult. Oh, shot by Zam even. Early A push and then a late A push. It's just to fake it out a little bit so they don't know the bomb is coming, but they've spotted it now and they've dropped it in the open. It's all for Fabio to do, and he's very quickly dispatched once more, leaving it 14-9. EOX closing the gap, but a full buy to come through from the T side. So another full buy and another chance for TRZ. Oh, those spams are very successful as TRK goes down super low early on. Rotating over to play in heaven now. Aggressive on B has spotted out lots of information as Moth knows nobody's here at this point. Nades down, considerably irrelevant damage connected. At this point, we need to see TRZ making a push towards the bomb site. They've got lots of smokes. They've got mollies everywhere. They just need to go and avoid dying one by one. Make sure they're able to trade. That's not coming through just yet. Fabio, the only one to do so. Crymore eventually picks up one onto Skulls. But TRK is up above. He's doing enough damage. He's keeping himself alive. And he's lit Crymore down to 33 HP. A Molotov in play for him, and that's all. He's got the bomb. Pretty much no chance to plant it, though. Player's heard pushing through the molly, but I think he's got his headphones on backwards. He hears it to the right, apparently. 14 to 10. We are closing in on the finale, on the finish. As EOX are certainly starting to dominate a lot of these buy rounds. Certainly to a much greater extent than we've seen them before. It's starting to look better for EOX by the second. As they close in the gap now, 14 to what should be 11, with TRZ not having a lot to buy up with here. The only question is how much damage do they do to the CT's economy. 1D kill on the board, no second. So just the one to play with, and that gives EOX quite a little boost of economy. As they only have to reinvest into one weapon, one set of armor, and one set of nades. Look at the money on BNC, 10k on the board. The man is barely dying towards these last couple rounds. But a very well-rounded performance from EOX. They've got 4 players that are... Sorry, all 5 players actually averaging out 16 players, with that also being the median. That's really good. I mean, when you've got a distribution of ±1 from the mean, that's sick. It means that if you kill the first player, you kill whoever's doing really well in the last round, it means nothing. Because there are 4 more players there that can step it up. TRZ have a little bit more of a spread out performance. It's actually Crymore top fragging for them on 24 for 14. It doesn't really feel like he's had a lot. Well, actually, in the last couple of rounds, I can see it, yeah. He's certainly amped up his performance versus previous games, even. Another long tech pause coming through. Eventually, it's going to be called off. As we're about ready to jump into it. Whew, these pauses are going to be the death of me. It's almost 4 a.m. at the moment. We've been going 12 hours straight. Let me check the OBS. 12 hours and 10 minutes straight, boys. It's been a hell of a long day. 4th best of 3 of the day. 3rd map of the 4th best of 3. I think the 11th map altogether. Wow. It's a grind. The EOX are on a grind themselves. They've got to find themselves a lot of rounds on the board. And looking up against it, I mean, it's not impossible. They've had a very strong string of rounds the last couple. Last 20 minutes or so. We'll see if their goal is achievable as they eventually angle towards the bomb site. So far, I feel like they're playing a little bit safer on the T side than what we've normally seen from them. Maybe a little bit more scared. Now reacting to their opponents starting to hit their shots a little bit more, sure. But I feel like they're giving EOX a lot of room to play with, and that's really what's costing them the most, is just the space that they're granting. Molly and right side Ivy, but gotta check up close left. TRK is there, and he's spamming away to find himself a kill. Zam's already out of the equation. EOX rotate to B pretty heavily too. As the bomb plant now goes down, Sony finds one in a second on the aggression. Into a man advantage for the T side. A 4 versus 2 with Primore's kill. Sony picks another and Sagala closes it out. It's 15 to 11. And what's looking likely to be the final round. Look at the money for EOX. They've got weaker weapons to be invested into. Actually, BNC can drop over, so never mind. I forgot he had such a stacked economy. But still, an M4 comes out on Will to allow for further utility. 3 AUGs and op. Well, it's definitely winnable. TRZ have got quite a lot of cash built up now. With the loss bonus they'll be able to buy for the next rounds. There's 3 buy rounds between EOX and an overtime. That's all they're fighting for at this point. An overtime on the final map. And whilst possible, it's always going to be difficult to win 3 buy rounds in a row up against a team that have dominated you so far. I don't like it. TRZ are doing so well when they play together, and then they go separately. Just scares me. Smoke goes down towards the connector. This position's been devastating again and again. Heaven, but it's Molotov'd out this time. Seagala was ready for that. We're into a 3 versus 3. Malt is taken down. It's all on to BNC to pull it back. He was the player with all the money, and he's the player with a kill onto Sagala. Spotted out towards the backlines, though, as they rotate around with the bomb to try and get a bomb plant towards the B bomb site. BNC might be able to cut this off. If he finds the kill, he could be safe to get a defuse in even. And indeed he lands that frag. Has no idea where Zam is. Oh, that nade. Oh no, it's too shallow. Peek out from Zam. Oh, it has to be a spam through the smoke. What a play by BNC to actually stick that as well. That's incredibly brave of him. Knowing that he'd thrown the nade down, he knew the player couldn't have been that close. And a very nice read all together. (15 to 12). Another buy round comes through from TRZ, again with an AWP in play. They have this and one more, and then they will hit an overtime. Sagala loses a lot of HP to a Molotov early on. Makes his way to B with the AWP, I think. Oh! Zam, you dirty boy. TRK's been taken down. The spam through Ivy was avoided for quite a while. I mean, TRK fought up against it a couple times so far this game, but eventually it catches wind of him. And a man advantage to work with for the CTs. They have to focus heavy defense on A, because they need Ivy main, and with that aggressive position from Will, they need main to be watched. Eventually they rotate over a player, though, leaving 2 towards the B bomb site. This is very risky, as if you see Pop Dog be taken, they'll have to give it up. Or indeed take it aggressively, but give open control of main over to their opponents. It looks like eventually, though, TRZ are going to be looking towards B as their target. They have plenty of economy to throw out here, plenty of utility. Molotov to the back of the bomb site. Pushes some of them out into the open. It looks like it's just a fake at the moment, but it's soon to be realized that it's a full-on push. Coming through the smoke, Fabio finds himself one. Segella also pulled it onto Moth, leaving Skulls and Will to pull... Oh no, leaving Skulls to pull it all off. Low HP on Segala, low HP on Crymore. It is possible. It's definitely within the realms of possibility, but Securing it will be difficult. Advanced position for for Zam rather, who's pushed all the way up towards the CT spawn. 1 kill onto Sagala. Zam's going to be spotted out, but not taken down. He's the one to find the final kill. And bringing things ultimately over in their favor, 16-12. TRZ come in as huge underdogs in the odds, but at the end of the day, they seem to be the better team and the stronger, as they now walk away with a scoreline of 16-12. And an absolutely phenomenal series it has been for them. I have to say congratulations to them. Taking down BNC, taking down TRK. Moth, who had even a slower game here, Skulls and Will. Every single one of these players had their games, had their performances, but at the end of the day, just a far more versatility on the TRZ lineup, and I feel like they played it more as a team on a more consistent basis. Guys, that's going to be the end of the stream for today. My name is Mitch. I've brought you through 12 and a half hours of best of threes. It's been a lot of fun. It's been exhausting. I'm off to bed. I think you, depending on where you live, you should be too. If you're in Europe, what are you doing awake, you madman? Much like myself. And yeah, have yourselves a good night, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Enjoy life. Have a good time. See you soon.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours